Okay, so the goat emerges and you have the FEMA camps, the barbed wire. Okay, you have the searchlight, spotlight. Almost looks like a alien spaceship, really, because you don't see any towers connected to it. But they're in a FEMA camp. You have the guard and the dog. The bell. The bell is like the vibration or the translation to uh, the spiritual realms, like even in Fringe with William Bell. And the mark of the beast coming. The UPC symbol is a preparation for that. The eyes are dilated, the spirit, the tracing of the entities and the dice have been rolled. Nodding its head, it's like, right there emerges. Puppet Masters are the world elite. The ones with the money are controlling everything. Okay? You have the blood of Lucifer, of Satan. Pay close attention to the skin. See the serpent skin? And it's black. And see how it's just very easy to see that serpent skin. Remember that. We're going to see it throughout the video. The little horn. He's in the darkness. He emerges in the darkness. Now, a lot of your school teachers, yes, I'm going to pick on public schools because this is the scene we're seeing this in. Yes, Bush was at a school during the 9/11 attacks. That's where a lot of this ties in. He's wearing the dunce hat for the little horn, the dragon, the dungeon master, okay, the wizard. And behind closed doors, these teachers are in cahoots with their political partners and orgs, Planned Parenthood. And at night, these people do rituals, okay? And they're being controlled by a puppet. Bush emerges in this scene with his hands up like he's being controlled. You just don't see the strings of the puppet master. And during the daytime, these people are the nicest people you will ever come across, as it would seem, just like a false pastor or teacher. But behind closed doors, they're in black and red. Okay, Masonic floorboard, the pink chair. Turns his head around. You have the evil, the hangman with the eyes, missing a leg. The left leg is missing. They take body parts, and they do a lot of stuff with body parts. This is showing someone that's being hung, that's being also eaten. These people are evil and sick. Makeup. He has the swoosh on his cheek. The swoosh is on the cheek. The fall of man. See the swoosh, the half circle? Do that on purpose. Evolution, evolution, the teacher. Take it all back, take it all back, take it all back, he says. Yeah, it's like he's fighting himself. He knows it's wrong, but yet he's so evil that Bohemian Grove. Here's the owl. The Bohemian Grove connection with the Bilderbergs. And owls turn their heads all the way around. He's going to become someone else after he says the three woes. Shame on me, shame on you. Take it all back. Take it all back. It's like it's like the three woes. The preparation's there. Don't know if you want to commit, but you're all in. You're not going to take it all back. It's going to come to play. Turns his head around like an owl. Boom. Prayer behind his back. There's the swoosh. There it is. There's the swoosh. And the eyebrows are the entities the serpent. He's graduated because he's the 44th president. Got your 6 references, 666. Alice in Wonderland, the white rabbit in the background, the Masonic floorboard. We have the circle, and we can't forget the circle. The circle is the covenant, the coven, the ecumenism in every individual. This is a mockery of the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, as well as the ecumenism that would be put into that original purity, you know, because they were the original teachers under Jesus Christ to spread the good news, to spread the gospel, to spread the word of God. But ecumenism's getting in the way now, and it's been manipulated, and they're all caged and trapped. But we're going to be freed. There is kind of like a rapture door reference here, only I think it's the tribulation door in this, not the rapture door. I think this represents the imprisonment of the church until we're free. And that time will come where the sun will turn his blood red, and you have that time coming, the fall of man, the apple from Adam and Eve. Let's see if we see a swoosh again to show the fall of man. Let's see if that pops up. She rolls the apple so that it can start. It can start now. There's that half circle. There's your swoosh. And there's your check mark. And it's chess. A chessboard. Checkmate. Rise of the New World Order. The two towers become one in the World Trade Center. The One World Trade Center is that right there. He knows he has to do it because they're searching for it. He's by himself in the school. Okay? See the reflections? You have the opposite of the 23rd Psalm in here with him. And then you have the light of the Word of God is the light, and it's all that's left. But lightning fall, right? They're taking the 23rd Psalm and talking about the valley of shadow of death being this starting on the day of the Lord. This isn't snow. This is nuclear fallout. It's not snow. The obelisk, the American flag flies away and is torn and no more. And the obelisk strikes midnight. The clock strikes midnight, and Jesus comes as a thief in the night and takes away his children. And that's when the tribulation starts, as of you have nuclear fallout. As of that time, it starts. You have the destructions. This is another symbolism for the two towers falling. But this is also talking about other towers coming down, not just the two. It's showing the two towers and the controlled demolition. See how it's fallen the same way? It's all like a controlled demolition. Entities in the smoke, just like there was. There's a face right here. And you have the top dogs, you know, the false prophet or whatever, summoning all this as it's happening in the political world, and the reality of this all unfolding. Jumps off. A lot of people will just jump off to their death for the rise of the New World Order. This is the tribulation boat, not the rapture boat. The Constantine Christ is in it. That's why. And you have this reference to the Titanic and the iceberg, and they are writing what would take down something like the Titanic, or riding the iceberg like a boat. When we look at Revelation, we can look at this passage here. Let's check this out. In Revelation 18, we see how everything's done. This is the day of the Lord, and we're seeing how Babylon's fallen twice. It's fallen. It's not just once. When you look at 2, and he cried mighty with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. You have the Vatican and the U.S., Mystery Babylon and the whore of Babylon, or the daughter of Babylon. We can look at this whole passage right here with the merchants and the money systems being no longer. And no more TV entertainment, no more Hollywood. They're all in mourning and they're on their ships. And they're all out to sea on their ships. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, the great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. So it happens in 1 hour in that day, when we get into 1 hour, the day of the Lord. So we know that it's made desolate at that time, and that the trial is, it doesn't say that it's the end. It doesn't say that the heaven and earth has been remade. It says that the great city has been made desolate, and it's fallen twice. Some pastors will say that it's talking about the first fall of Babylon, and then the new Babylon being fallen as well. But it's talking about, because Babylon hasn't fallen, dude. We've got Babylon all over our cultures. It's not done. It's all there. So they're out to seas, the ships. For in 1 hour the great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto the great city? We see all this stuff in I Pet Goat 2. So they're on the boat here, and we look at the army. You have the CIA connection with Osama bin Laden and Blackwater. There's your half moon, your swoosh that was on the cheek. Also has a lot to do with Islam and the fall of man, Freemasonry, Shriners, the Order of the Shrine, calling Allah Lucifer. I broke this down in the pink OKUSA video, but you have the oil pumping, taking the lifeblood of the earth. You know, the wars that we've had, even the Persian Gulf War was about oil and lithium veins. And a lot of bleeding of the resources. They're bleeding the earth to anger God. And that's where you get a lot of this oil, this lifeblood of the oil these wars are fought over. The oil is draining from the earth and it's creating Blackwater, CIA Blackwater, or now they're called Academy. Or they might pronounce it Academy, I don't know. See how the oil's going to drip? Boom, there's your oil color you get when the light hits it. No more as above, so as below. Star of David. Did you know that the Statue of Liberty actually stands on a star? And you have the Star of David in that. And there's no more above. Lucifer, lightning fall. Boom, there's your lightning fall. And now everything's grounded. It's all below. All of it. And the torch falls. We are born into this society being watched on right away.